So I'm gonna let you guys take over. We are headed to split first. It's T1 and TSM. I can't wait to see it.
Drone, he's back on the Phoenix, so I think a matchup that they are really worried about, or maybe concerned about, or really want to come out on top. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So let's go back to something that we know, and boy, do we know how to play with Drone leading the charge. So we'll see what I think is probably going to be the Brimstone. Brack's going to find an early pick, the Brimstone for Sabrosa, but already there's a lot of action towards the middle here, and it's really going to go the way of the man advantage here for T1. Food just doing what Food does. He'll take out a lot of those members, and now Hayes, the last member standing here for TSM.
So Wardell is going to be the one on that operator looking back inside that site. They have a super passive crossfire set up for the defender side, so really some sort of a retake play, at least from AZK side. So we have to come up huge from this Phoenix inside the site as he's peeking out, and it's going to be Crash. He's picked off by Wardell. Should be an easy site to move in now. Paranoid will come out. Easy shot from Wardell for the second one onto AZK. And we're still attempting to go for some sort of retake if we could get an early kill here with Brax. Brax going face to face, but it's doubled up by Hayes. A Bulldog to the face, quickly traded out. And that is definitely going to be the call for Skadoodle to save. So we have an early cover, dark cover, from the Omen of AZK towards the front, but it's still going to give an area for Sabrosa to pick up the operator that's going to peek through, and Crashies gets punished for that one. So a bad smoke that's capitalized here from TSM, but a counter. Paranoid to come through as AZK gets the kill onto Drone. Now a 3-on-2 situation with the spike down to get the res up for a 3 versus 3. The ult will be picked up by Wardell once he makes it back towards short. And that might be the call for them to fall back because they still have a lot of time to work with.
Doodle holding on here, but Wardell's going to find one early pick, and now as he sneaks around the corner, it's the wall of revenge! It's sweet, still has to deal with Food. He's now in the retreat as the Bulldog switches to the knives, and it's going to go straight to the dome. Now, the 1v1 Brax versus Wardell, and Brax already in the sewers. Here he comes, and the headshot connects, and T1, they continue their lead.
And it was just difficult for TSM to get those crossfires from the backside into the edge of the barrage. But the Slapda, it's going to be off for Skadoodle onto 2 of the main fraggers of each roster, or 1 fragger of each roster, and that is going to be the Phoenix and the Brimstone falling down. So we do have at that point Crashies and Sabrosa down into this round. Into the wall. Lands a shot mid-air onto Food. Showstopper gets no kills. And that is going to be TSM trying to turn things around very quickly.
So, unfortunately for TSM, Drone is going to find a little bit of information in the back of sight, but TSM, they still need to push in. And now here it's AZK ready with a counter push. He's going to find 2. Sorry, not counter. Defense. And now 1 more underneath Heaven. Likely going to get taken out shortly. Brax, unfortunately, loses that gun to one. Wardell in the middle. Now it's down to the 1v1. Wardell, after that resurrection, finds 2 and on Skadoodle, but there's no time for spike plant. And yet another round that is very important. That's AZK, he's caught with a paranoia in his hand, and Wardell, he slices and slices, but it's Skadoodle that ends the terror. Now 3v4, spike going down. Let's see how T1 answers this retake.
Well, on top of that, you have a neural theft, so very difficult for T1 to try to come back into this round. And they go for the corner, so they force out Drone to peek out, and he wins that fight at least versus Skadoodle. So Brax still on spawn side, Molly on the ground, wasting a lot of time so they could really focus just on the Heaven. And you can see it, Brax is already falling back. He's going to pick up the operator for Skadoodle, and they will decide to save these weapons.
They need at least 1 or 2 more rounds, and they need it as soon as possible. Early, he's going to try to push forward. It's a quick trade of frags, and AZK now the last defensive lineman here on the A site. And the contact point's going to come in very quickly. He's just trying to spray through. But already there's 1 below. It's Sabrosa who snuck his way onto the site. Spike going down, and T1 very late now on the retake.
Yeah, it's good for T1 at least at that point, right? They want to say, look, we're not going to be very one-dimensional towards this map. We are going to try to push whenever we can. Yes, the first one was punished with Crashies, but at least the trade was there from AZK. Now they're baiting out the shots. It's going to be a second peek coming out, but the smoke is going to come down to Cloudburst. That's going to prevent Skadoodle from going for that peek and fighting versus Wardell. But they have 2 players back towards this spawn site, so they have to act soon. Flashing towards the right side. Now they can focus on Wardell. They might not know that Hayes is in this corner either. Now a Showstopper as he dashes towards the air, he goes for the uppers, and now it's still going to be a push moving forward, and and AZK spams it across, but they don't know that Haze is in this smoke, so he's gonna go for a huge backstab. The second kill, Cutler gets one, he gets a second kill, and that is gonna be now a res for Drone. Now a 1 versus 1, that clock is still ticking down. What a res here to give the round for TSM. One at the elbow, one towards the left side, playing super passively here for the defenders, but Food's in a great position. Spotted Drone on this rotation as it's coming back towards spawn. Sabrosa, though, is in a great spot to try to counter it back. So he puts a molly on the ground, but at least the timing's off. So a favor coming in for T1 so they could focus on 3 players inside the A site now, but they have to act quick. So Frost Orb's on the ground, AZK still hopping around his corner, and Wardell this time is waiting for it. Food gets a kill onto Cutler, though Crashy's still in the back by the screen. A curveball to come out, that's going to land onto Haze, who's still pushing forward towards screen. We touched the wall up, so he can get advantage here of the elbow side, but he will not win that fight versus Crashies, who is still anchoring strong inside the back of the screens. So Wardell, with his teammate Sabrosa, will have to try to clutch here. This 2 versus 3, Sabrosa is still on the top at Heaven.
Oh, Crashy's going perfect. Unfortunately, he's going to fall. Food there with the refrag, now down to the 2v1. Brax has finally joined the fray, and Wardell has to play this massively. Spike going down. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. Food knows that.
So now, seems like works well in their favor. They're going for the orbital strike towards the Heaven, but Brax goes for the 3K into the round. Food already there to support. Only one more player to go. It's going to be Cutler looking to clutch. He gets the first kill with a headshot onto Food. He takes his spike. He's on a 2 versus 1, but we have 2 ultimates right now for the defenders. Nothing here for Cyber Paranoia to come out first, and he's going to get wall banged, headshotted by Crashies. It's going to be 9-3.
With caster vision, we know that it's just a complete opposite stack on the opposite side, but for T1, that's good news. Once they go in towards this B site, there aren't too many tripwires available from the side of Cutler. There's only one in Heaven, I believe, that is theirs.
Yep.
But other than that, once they push in towards the B site, there's nothing there. It's only Crashies that is very likely going to get spotted out by that tripwire. There it goes. And now TSM are like, oh no. Gambled the wrong site. I mean, they saw action to it early, and I understand the read. Like, okay, there is one down. Let's try to hold this and see what happens. But now the retake on a pistol and the wall is up. It's going to be so hard to push in.
Yeah, and at least the rotation was quick, right? Cutler made sure that he kept looking at that minimap. As soon as it was broken, the rotate happened right away. So they had to focus on that first trade, a second one to be attempted by Food, who's looking with the classic, but Cutler wins the fight. So somehow it's turned around. We have a 3 versus 3. It's still even, but Brax gets the first kill on this rotation as they finally make it into the site for TSM. A second to fall, a third to fall, courtesy of AZK. So that pistol round that TSM really needed.
Peeks him. Just do it. He won't miss, I promise. But there's the paranoia. They're a little worried. That's the showstopper. I would be even more concerned, but it's denied by the Clutchler. That's 2 for him. Wardell with the 3rd. They're really making this defense work. Now having to escape. He will get out of there. Sabrosa going to find another. All down to Crashies. The defense worked out perfectly for them.
Is that they didn't spend that much money into this round. They should still have a full gun round here. But look at that. Food is already pushed through.
I love this. I love this play from Food. Now has to deal with one player up above. Spray's going to be good, and Haze will at least nip that in the bud. However, T1 at this point, that's already a lot of information gained, right? No one's on this B site, so you can at least expect to walk in relatively free. Drone going to find the lurking Brax, and so that is finally punished. But at what cost? It's the 3v3. Now the retake for TSM. Molotov is a little late from Sabrosa, so that won't actually stop the plant. And now the post-plant positions will work out for T1. Skadoodle, he's got a great angle. Once he knows that all of these players are towards the opposite side, he can hold with his team. Now they come in. Crash is going to find one with the run back. He's going to find 2. And that's Wardell sent to the graveyard by Skadoodle. And T1 are at map point. To say TSM a week from now, a month from now, is a top 3 team, you wouldn't think that with some of these little slip-ups. Yes, the performance might tell us differently, but they still need to shape up some of these issues that are rough around the edges. And for T1, they're not safe either. They still have a couple of their own little slip-ups too. But now, Spike, of course, gone down. T1 with a great basket for Ace. Has to deal with the cushion. That's a flash with Crashies. Has to deal with the people coming in from behind. They're coming in acting from above. So far, it's 2 frags for TSM. That's 3, that's 4. Down to 1 final player. Crashies gonna find one early. Has to escape back towards his hole. But with that Spike tick, he lives down. Oh, wow. That's gonna be another. Almost has enough to run it back, actually. That's the spray. It's good, but it's Wardell holds the angle. TSM, another round on the board for them. They stay alive. AZK now looking towards the middle. If he finds this pick to FaZe, this might actually be a great opening pick. They trade one, AZK's down, so now they have to focus. Are they going to push it towards the garage? Nope. They don't really rely on that frag that FaZe finds. AZK's down. We can't push in. Let's back up and re-strategize.
So 4 versus 4, they still have a res too. This is when they want to work back towards mid. If they can actually get this kill into Hayes, he gets 2 of his own. Finally, it's traded off. And thankfully, he actually killed the res from the now Drone's trying to peek out. You do have the neural theft. He's now spotted inside the side. They're both spotted. Cutler forced to fall back. And as they're moving in, Drone wins it versus Food. There's only 7 seconds left on the clock. Brax has to go for the immediate kill. And look at that. They're playing for the time. They're running back. They're running away. They're securing the round. And Drone even secures the kill.
Ready to try to stop any of these pushes forward. Here they come. The orbital strike is going to make it that much more difficult. There's the showstopper, and it's just bad news bears for TSM. But the rest comes in, they nullify those odds, and T1 now, how are they going to switch in? They have to deal with the shot that's coming in from heaven. Hayes is going to lead on it. The noodle, he actually walls up Wardell. He misses 3. Oh my God. Up in the air, and the ATK will take him out. But it's pandemonium on the site. Down to 1. The Noodle, does he have what it takes? Now it's the 1v1. Drone versus Skadoodle. Sorry, Sabrosa versus Skadoodle. Does he have time? 9 seconds remain. Gotta get the fight down. And Sabrosa, he walks right through the barrier orb. 12-11 TSM, 1.1 round away from tying us up and taking us to OT. And while Brax's picks have been good in the first couple of rounds, hasn't been working out.
Stopped.
Well, we are pushing into the site. 15 seconds left on the clock. They have no money. So we only have a Marshall right now for Elisa's stage. And it's going back and forth, and the clock is still ticking. They're finally getting the plant down. They've cleared out the A site as well, and they have big fraggers for the team. Talking about A, you're talking about Food, and now you're talking about Skadoodle as well. But so Bro is still alive for TSM. Gets the first kill. They also have a heal from the Sage that could be used right now once they meet up, or unless it's on cooldown at least. But Food's in a great position under the heaven. A crossfire set up with Skadoodle as well. The wall is going to come up at the same time, so they might make the switch. Skadoodle gets the first the swing comes through, sorry, from Food, and he gets a 3rd kill onto Drone, and they almost made it to the tie, but they don't cross the finish line, and T1 wins it 13-11. TSM actually lost yesterday versus Cloud9 on Bind 13-6 when they actually were running Stageless too. So they both had their tastes of going Stageless on Bind, where it seems as though T1 had the better results.
Yeah, and we're already seeing some of the things that we predicted. Skadoodle back on the Sova, you know, Sabrosa back on the Phoenix, but that might have to be put on pause. There's an engagement here on the B site. A couple of kills already traded away. Sabrosa back of sight, and he's already calling for some of his team members to start to rotate back over towards this B site. And now, as they funnel in from the defender spawn, Sabrosa's got a pretty big job here to take out at least 1 or 2 members. Make it a lot easier for the rest of the TSM members to funnel in through the vents. But Sabrosa's got to deal with this 2v2 kind of separated right down the middle. Back into the corner he goes, finds Skadoodle. That's a good shot. Now the Molotov as well coming in from the side. Sabrosa finds another one. Drone on the Sova will help get the job done. And now Brax gets caught with his hands in his pockets. Hopefully he's reaching out for the W, but it's going to be the L that he pulls out instead. If you look at the weaponry, now you're looking at the weaponry this round, it's 2 Guardians TSM and an early pick from Wardell through Connector, but Food will answer back. The paint shells as well, looking to try to chip out Rosa, but now he swings with the 1-tap Guardian. He himself will get 1 tap as Wardell will also answer back. Pandemonium here in B short. He gets tagged and now has to retreat.
They are trying to move in, waiting for his teammate to rotate, but Food pushed forward from a satchel charge and gets the kill. But you still have Cutler at the elbow. Peeks, first headshot, catches Food off guard. Trying to go for the spray through the wall is going to be the Cypher of Brax on the other side, but now also Skadoodle is going to move forward. So a 2-for-1 into that push, and a 2 versus 0 pretty much as T1 has won that fight. Hayes is looking to clutch a 2 versus 1. He does have a Hunter's Fury that's coming out here from Skadoodle. They are shooting around the site. He's looking to tap that spike and looking for that spray to come out, or at least a swing to come out from Brax, but Brax does so. Another tap to come through, and that recon dart is going to get so much information away, but he still wins that one. And somehow Skadoodle swings out. Hayes gets the kill, double Guardian kill, and the round comes in for TSM.
Now for T1, they've got a lot of light armor, so when they peek through here, and Drone's on the opposite side, they're going to need support from Hayes, and as he peeks forward to try to help Drone, he gets taken out of the process. Throws the back of sight. He's also taken out. The last 2 members remaining for TSM have to rotate back over, but they're like, we want none of it.
Sabrosa, this is going to be a dangerous one here. The curveball to come out, and he's going to be on his own. It's two of them, he gets it, but it's going to be the hot hands on the ground. Thankfully, it was actually the run it back, so the Phoenix still stays alive onto that long B. So Sabrosa stuck inside a corner. Both of his curveballs have been used, and Crashes is moving forward. But Wardell looking for that trade. We heard the off-shot ring, so he did miss the first kill. Actually, it looked like it was a wall bang onto the Cypher, so they know where the last two players are at. They're going to readjust for TSM, and a nice round there for at least Sabrosa to start things off. But it's not over yet. You still have Brax that's alive, and you still have Crashies that is alive too. So two young fraggers right now for the team could still turn it around for T1.
Taken out.
Nope.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, there was an opportunity.
They have some sort of an idea. Towards his B side, and Skadoodle reads him like a book. Wide swings, gets the frag as he puts Wardell out of position, but Sabrosa trying to even it up with the run it back. Now low HP is going to be Food pushing in, and he gets wall banged by Drone. And again, I don't think it's about the healing at this point, because you're looking at so many Counter-Strike players that they're okay with playing with low HP. They can still get some kills right now, and they don't really need the heal. So they're in a tough position. If at least Brax can get a kill, they can hit the teleporter into A, and that's exactly what's going to happen. There goes that first kill, and they even get the flanker. So Sabrosa is going to fall. Cutler has to come up huge. He has the operator, as it did have a double up set up here for TSM. And what's going to happen at this point?
Yeah, they call the portal, but Cutler, like you said, now his job becomes even harder. Yes, Drone is in rotation. He smoked off, and now they have to pretty much go through the vents together. The smoke also will cut off the vision of the vents. And now here comes the Hunter's Fury. Actually, Drone gonna fight it there, and he's gonna fight too. Drone tags the second, and now here comes Cutler. He's gonna swing, takes out Skadoodle, and TSM send a message. He's playing aggressively towards B long. He was taken out last time, but this time he's gonna find Skadoodle, who's looking down the barrel of a gun. Wardell with another. Can he find the third? No, he cannot. It's AZK that hops, skips, jumps away back to the spike. And now TSM with the man advantage of 5v3. How can T1, at the bare minimum, do some damage and take some of these members out?
Yeah, I definitely have to start off with Food right now inside Hookah, as Brax, the lurker, does not pay off on that lurk inside A. Wardell, knowing that Food always takes his Hookah control, is peeking in, gets the kill, traded off by AZK, as unfortunately he missed that shot.
And as a result, they want to play with their money smart. Wardell, he's going to try to find one. He misses two crucial shots. That might be the round. Okay, that's not the round, but that might be so detrimental to what happened. Brack's going to find Hayes. It's a quick trade from Drone. And already we're seeing Sabrosa. He's got the long flank. How long will it take him to get there to support his team? It's 4v4. Here comes the swing from Drone. Crashy sends him to the Netherrealm. Cutler now has to help Wardell try to retake the site, while Sabrosa is taking his time. He's trying to make it back towards the site. For the side of T1, they've held down these post plants, 2 towards lamps, 1 actually held down on and near the spike. Crashies has a great crossfire to help Skadoodle survive. But now, as Sabrosa starts to come forward, they are starting to try to pinch in. Now they come in towards lamps. It's Cutler. He's on the side. They're just playing cat and mouse, but he's going to find one. Food will be able to answer back. And now Wardell, he has to question himself. Will he fight? Will he try to get this spike through? He is just looking for exits now at this point. But as that spike's about to blow, there's not really a whole lot left that Wardell can do.
But now we have a run it back from both sides, trying to get information towards B, trying to get information towards A, and we know that it's going to be towards B. But one's going to hit up the shell. Cutler is picking up 2. We have the overall start to come down. And we have one running through the teleporter, but he did not take the spike with him. So he's inside the teleporter right now. Skadoodle will try to pick it up as he picks up a Phantom at this point. But a great round to start things off on the defender side for TSM.
And Hayes, now all he needs to do is hold his angle. They'll start to come through. Wardell will support from afar. And now Crashy's last member standing.
So a great communication for TSM to hold that last round. It's going to be a low buy heading in for T1 into this round. Brimstone, he's going to throw down his orbital strike, but it's still going to be Crashies that gets the first kill onto Drone, because they have moved into the site, thankfully, from a showstopper that basically scattered around the defense for the TSM. As they're trying to retake it, a real step to come down. It's looking good here for at least the final round for T1.
Wardell setting up with the rest of his team. Still a 3v5 that they're willing to fight. You know, it's the last round of the half. Nothing really to save. Unless you're saving those strats for the major, and TSM definitely do not want to do that. Now as the play storm comes in, finds one, has to be pulled from afar. Now things are a little bit more evened out. Food with the frenzy is able to make it work, and now Wardell has to let those blades fly. Brax gonna find one, gonna find two, gonna find three.
Look how confident they are to start. 3 players to push forward into the short A. It's Wardell with 1 and 2. Now we have Food throwing everything that he can in terms of satchel charges and also paint shells. And Wardell gets the hat trick on top of that, capitalizing on the paint shells coming down. And that's going to be the A defense pretty much open, but the 2 last players looking to rotate for T1.
We've seen some miraculous things happen before, and we'll see how T1 are able to bring some of those miracles to life. For TSM, all the odds are in their favor for this hold on this A site. Now Skadoodle trying to clear things out to Owl Drone. Smokes on smokes now, puts Skadoodle last one in the mix, and it's Wardell with 4 on the round that give TSM the much needed pistol. Pushing back towards this A site, you know, thinking maybe there might be a push forward, but now as the smokes come in, they have to be a little bit careful. But Skadoodle walks out. He sneezes onto Drone. Wardell, he will be able to at least answer back, but that spike's got to go down at some point. And Brax sitting in the tuna can, he's got the shorty ready. AZK is all able to support that. So Ghost able to set up a great crossfire. Now it's down to the 1v2. Somehow T1 have the advantage, but there's 10 seconds left. Hayes is just trying to play the time. That'll be the frag that comes through. Food now has to come through. That's the blast back. Oh, baby, from distance. But considering it's a 3-stack with T1 here, he's at the ready. There's the one way. Unfortunately, there's a flash. Now it's the showstopper. Sends it down, finds one, and finds the second with the spray. AZK with the crossfire. Archie pushing in. He will actually lose his life. But Brax sprays with the smoke. It is going to be Sabrosa who's got the run back. Already down to 23 HP. Wardell will answer back with the op shot of his own, and they clear the site. TSM have free reign over this A site now, and that spike, of course, going to be going down. T1 have to decide, are they willing to fight this, or do they save the weaponry? It looks like the answer is the former. Now, TSM in those post plants. Vansilli, how are T1 going to break through this?
It's going to be a tough one right now. They still have abilities to try to make it out of the site. It's going to be a curveball. But actually, Brax has already made it through, so they're going to have to play it off the Owl Drone. They know that there's one in there. Nice shock dart coming through here from the attacker side on a post plant situation. That's courtesy of Drone. So now they know 2 players are playing in there. A camera to spot both players. And now the curveball to come through. A face-to-face battle, but it's still going to be just that player trying to stay alive. It's going to be Sabrosa. He's on a 4, 3 versus 2. Players still alive at this point. He's towards the back of A. He almost gets the second kill, but unfortunately it does not happen just from a recon arrow. But the time is not going to be in the favor here of T1.
Oh my goodness.
So they have Sheriff and Ghost. They keep that Bulldog and also the Vandal from the previous round. And we are trying to move in close, and it works out. Wardell gets the kill onto AZK with the shorty. He picks up the Phantom, and now Food is trying to push forward. But that's a week now, but we already have the rotation from T1 and from the spawn side. So one goes ahead. We have the execution coming through, and now we have the drill step. That's part of the information for Food, but he still comes out to get a kill. It's a trade after trade, and the rifles are now ringing in from the past round, and Sabrosa gets the frag onto Brax. So the spike is still up, finally planted, but look at that. It's a 3 versus 1. They forced out a rotation. They gambled a rotation already from T1 side, so it's looking good here for TSM to take the round.
Oh, that's the one looking like it actually separates the team. Kills the Broken, going to try to use the run it back. Swing AZK will fall, and Wardell will also support from pushing in from Shower. So far, it's just one, but Food, he's got the showstopper. He can really make it worth his while. Wardell going to find another one, and now it's the 3v5. Food, like I said, still has a showstopper. Shorty will work out. Now upgrades to the Phantom. He will try to clear things out with the paint shells. Smoke's going down, but he needs to get involved now or never. The rest of his team, of course, are going to start to help and support from Vents. One member, it's Brax, who's lurking all the way back around. Here's Wardell. The swing is good. Shot's going to land onto Brax. And now it's just the 2v4, all down to Food. Unfortunately, for the side of T1, only one ultimate available. I don't know how close everyone else is, and for AZK, that's unfortunate. Actually gets rid of the recon hold. Now going to play a little more aggressive. He's going to get burnt alive at the crisp with the hot hands. Joke's over! Back with strike his own. Now that's the clone that comes through. It's quickly taken care of. They're holding on to the site. Here come the paint shells. Lobbed over the APC, but Skadoodle playing close with the op. Has to deal with, I believe it is Cutler on the opposite side. He's got the Cyber Cage. allowing him to retreat. Now going to be going into the connector. One on the opposite side, it's Sabrosa who swings wide. He's going to find one, but Food. He takes out Wardell. One of the star firepower players for TSM. Cutler really has to clutch this down. Headshot onto Brax. That's huge. And now all down to Food. It's Sabrosa back there watching the flank, and he takes out Food. A great round for TSM.
It's been a great series so far. We're headed to Ascent. It's T1 and TSM at the FaZe Clan VALORANT Invitational. Simo, Vansilli. I'll see you on the other side.
We'll see what ends up happening. T1 had a great attacker side, but since then the map is now defender sided. Sabrosa early pick onto Food. Whoa. It's actually going very well here for TSM. They break open onto the site. They find 4 picks here. We're sorry. Actually, yes, that is TSM. And now just down to one final player. It's Brax. He spotted out. And TSM, a flawless pistol. And a message has been sent.
And it starts off with the paranoia, and this time them just not stopping inside this B side. So we have shark darts from Skadoodle, but the curveball was perfect to get them both blinded, but they still managed to get those kills on a crossfire setup. They drop like flies. Hayes is the last man standing. Camera to be broken, and now spotted as Skadoodle swings out for the kill, and they're going to say, we have the guns now, as well as much as he does on attacker and defender, and then the rest will work as a team to work inside A. But a big curveball to come out, but a trade immediately towards his mid side, and Drone gets 2 more as they're trying to take control of the mid side. So now it's only going to be one player stuck inside the A side, one player stuck inside B side. One of them, it's going to be the A side that the hit's going to take, and he's going to have to come up huge, but he spotted. Crashies is dropped, and that is courtesy of an op shot from Drone out of all players right now. They'll get the spike plan. Definitely, you know here, Simo, that last player is going to save his gun. Not being as good as we thought they'd be. TSM is probably going to do the same thing for me at this point. But we do have a run it back from Sabrosa. He does get the kill onto Crashies no matter what, as he was nearsighted from a paranoia. But Food is doing the same thing. He trades it off Wardell onto AZK. The run it back is now Food is stuck. He opens the curveball, but a trade still comes in. So we do have a 2 versus 3 situation, but a 2 versus 2 on the site. At least the Owl Drone's going to give that position away, but the spike is still towards the wine. So what we could do at least is have Wardell fall back and maybe make his way towards the B side while we still have the lurker of he's under the heaven side. So actually he is committing into it. An off-shot miss by Skadoodle. That's unfortunate because usually he doesn't miss those. And then Brax is able to take down Hayes. So we have to act quick here. The Cypher, Wardell gets the kill onto Skadoodle, but it's straight off by Brax. So Cutler, who was on that lurk, on a late lurk, has to try to win a 1 versus 1 versus Brax, and it is. This is an exciting matchup, although it's looking to be very one-sided, but it's just nothing but highlight reels as Sabrosa gets 2 headshots, but it's traded off by AZK, so they are trying to switch things over. AZK with an operator could be a possibility eventually that they're going to go with the double off, but Wardell trades it back, and just like that, it continues the aggression for the attacker side. Even lurkers are getting their kills as Drone pops Skadoodle in the face, leaving Brax in another situation where he's looking to clutch. He's done it before, but it was only a 1 versus 1. This time it is a 3 versus 1. He has a neural theft. So if he actually gets the first kill here, throws the hat, gets the last 2, he could actually manage to make it a 2 1 versus 1s, but it's not going to be the case. But there you go, that rotation already comes back from AZK towards that garden. You have the smokes and the paranoia coming out here from the defender's side as Crashies does connect, but Joel still gets the kill onto Food. As the cyber cage dissipates, AZK already on a rotation, gets 2 kills, drops the spike carrier, but it's going to be redeemed and picked up here by Cutler very soon. You still have Crashies inside the site, but they are still committing towards this A side with 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to.
They have to get that spike down. Crashies, though, is going to deal with the generator player. It's Cutler. He comes through. And now spike going down. 14 seconds remain. But now that that spike's in, Brack's going to do his due diligence and take out his alter ego. Now the 2v2. Let's see how Brax does it. He does have his teammate up on heaven, but Sabrosa playing towards the tree room and watching for any of those flanks. This gives Wardell a lot of space to play towards hell. But now the jig is up. And Neural Theft will spot out some of those players. Sabrosa gonna start to double back. Help out with the hot hands. Here comes the rotation, but Wardell smoking himself off. I think he hears one drop. Now through the smoke, finds Brax. Still one more player remains. Sabrosa, here comes the swing. It's Skadoodle. He's got to deal with 2. He finds 1. That's gonna be the recouple, but can he defuse in time? He needs to stick it, and bros don't think. Here's the swing, and Sabrosa puts us you know, considering Sabrosa's taken over that role for Drone, and now we're seeing an early push. Sabrosa, speaking of first blood, That's going to send Brax. Of course, there is the refrag, and so now the 4v4. And
So he's going to play the camera, tag a few guys, probably let them come in, because look how far his teammates are. They're putting so much aggression towards the A main, watching from the catwalk side, so he's okay to let these guys plant. And then he's just going to wait for his teammates to rotate back. Just going for a couple of bursts through the smoke, not able to get any kills. Now he's falling back towards that spawn, and it's actually going to be 4 players that are going to move through here towards the spawn side into B.
no, I think that was a tripwire that was able to see Food pushing in, because I was like, how did they see him? How did they tag one? I think it was
they had the camera too. Color was playing the camera towards B main.
I was like, how did Drone send an arrow all the way across the map? I was like, that's impressive. But now they push in. A shot's going to start to come through. They need to be careful because already TSM's there. They find 2. 1 more remains. He's backside. It's Food. And down to the graveyard. The muck of the swamp here. He goes as TSM put us 11-2.
But I don't think necessarily it's like T1 looking good, but it's just how good TSM is on this map with how many, again, opening kills Sobroza is getting for the team. Because we do nothing. He's getting kills on rotation as a lurk. That's pretty much it. So far, we usually talk about how good Wardell is on that operator, playing that attacker defender side, whatever it is on Ascent. But his name is barely screamed, as it's just right now Sobroza getting the entries. And now they're splitting into this site again on the retake for TSM. So it's a 5 versus 5. It's going to be a bloodbath here, Simo.
Yeah, it's going to be Wardell that finds the early pick. It's not Sobroza. Crashies. He's going to see one. Sprays with the Spectre, and it works out well. AZK as well. It's only Sobroza that is able to answer for some of the spins that have been committed by the other members. But now as they jump in, it's Skadoodle and AZK that defend the site.
Sobroza is looking to play through the dark cover that was thrown here from Crashies, as Wardell is going to push forward, and he does get the buckshot into Food. So at that point, that's going to be 1 player down, a weapon salvage. Cutler pushing forward, getting a frag, and Sobroza doing the same thing. Somehow they're turning the round over here, looking for a flawless as the spike is down for the attackers. Crashies pushing through, is able to spot Cutler to force him back towards his B side. But as they have now 5 players, a 3-player crossfire set up inside the market, you're pretty much done for, Crashies. One is and now at least a lot of information coming through here. Sobroza with the run it back, spawning 3 players towards his B side. So he's going to try to work it back. Oh my god, Food! Blinded, gets the headshot as he's trying to get the orb, but why? He got the kill, he had to run it back, and that's why he said, okay, I'm going to leave it for another one of my teammates maybe to pick it up. But this is going to be huge. Wardell has to hold as much as he can. Everybody's falling back towards his mid side though, as we do have Crashies able to spray down Hayes to 16 HP. So they are being chipped down towards his B defense, even a backstab from Crashies. T1 is trying to keep this alive here in this series.
Yeah, Wardell now, he's going to be the first contact point, and if he survives, if he finds 2, it's money, but unfortunately it's just coins. Now there's going to be a couple of kills traded just down to the last and final player. It's Cutler.
When they're trying to pinch in towards his mid side, which they're doing again.
Wow. That's very unfortunate when you try to hop through and you're looking for support. Wardell finds another. This could be the ticket here. TSM fans rejoice as we are nearing the potential end here for the last and final map. Hayes now going to swing forward. AZK will answer back, and Cutler now trying to rotate from the back, but that spikes down, and T1 have to work all the way back around to get it. Sobroza holding down this angle. Brax on the opposite side, now going to try to dry peek through, does not have the support of his team. Wardell going to be looking towards the fish market. Here's the swing, spots out Sobroza, headshot's good, and here comes Wardell, jumps up, and he will go back down immediately now as that spike still not picked up. Here's the swing, Brax will fall, down to 1 final player. It's AZK, headshot's good. Now the 1v2, the smokes go down, but has to push in regardless. That spike is in enemy territory. There are 40 seconds left that remain. Now the smokes slowly going to subside. It is going to be Cutler and Wardell, the last remaining members here for TSM in 1v2. AZK gets tagged, has to take out that tracking dart, but TSM, they're just holding on to that spike. 20 seconds remain, and AZK, he's got no choice. He has to push in. Only has the Molotov. That's going to be the Blade Storm. He gets spotted out. Has to push forward. It's Cutler. It's Cutler. It's Cutler. Wins the final frag here for TSM. And they win the best of 3 against T1 and move on to the semifinals. Vansilli You and I were wrong. Casters can be wrong. We thought it was going to be the 2-1, but TSM, they addressed their demons in a heartfelt series and come out victorious.